Hello everyone, I'm Glen.
And I'm Jake. Welcome to Nevada Trails. We want to say thanks to the Pine Nut Mountain Trails Association and the Brewery Arts Center for their support in the show, because if it wasn't for them and all the volunteers here every week, right?
That's right.
The show couldn't happen, period. And this is a show all based on volunteers, and without their support and everybody else, it just wouldn't happen.
We wouldn't be here talking to you.
That's right.
That's right. So, Jake and I are going to be talking about different outdoor activities done here on the Nevada Trails, who's using the trails, and
How
hopefully
they're doing it?
Yeah, and whether it's on dirt bikes or on the horsies or however
We're hoping. I've been here 22 years, and since the show, I'm finding things that I didn't even know existed here in Nevada. So that's what we're trying to do for everybody, and we want to show everybody how they can join clubs and reach out and be part of things and do it responsibly.
Use
and
the
safe.
trail, responsible, safe. We want to keep that in mind at all times.
So today we're gonna show hang gliding video.
Oh,
unfortunately,
very good.
we had like a last minute cancellation.
Yeah.
So the hang gliding video should be good, and we're also going to talk about what's necessary to put compressed air on your vehicle.
That's right. All the parts, well, at least the main ingredients, and how to install, an air compressor on your engine-driven motor.
Because we do a lot of four-wheeling, and we use it to air the tires up, and people can use them to use power tools. So this can be important if you're out four-wheeling and trail riding in Nevada. Having a compressed air source
can get you out of a bind.
Continual compressed air source.
Correct.
So, to fix flat tires or do whatever. So we're going to do that. We hope you enjoy the episode. And
this is Nevada Trails.
This is Nevada Trails.
I'm here with Billy Cuddy from Tahoe Tandem Hang Gliding, and we're up here at Slide Mountain, and we're going to do a little bit of hang gliding today. So kind of cold, but it'll make it smooth, right?
Oh, it's going to be fun. We got a little bit of snow last night. It's a little chilly, but it's going to make the flight very interesting.
Very good. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you get out and try it too. Well, Billy's tightening up the fabric, putting in the battens, and those are the rods that give the wing its airfoil shape. That gives a little bit more lift. And I'm going to sign my paperwork, get all the legal stuff out of the way, and put on my harness. The harness has its own parachute. You can see it on the front there, a little yellow packet. Makes me feel a little bit safer about this all. And then, let's see, we've got a lesson to do, and just basically teaching me how to run with him at the same time. We're running down a very steep incline, and once we get started, we're going to have to be committed to it and have to do it right. Oh, it's time to get strapped in and let Billy do his thing here. Go over everything one last time. Make sure all of our safety straps are good. Everything's all tight. And looking forward to it.
Got a visual? Yeah. Okay. Safety. White. Close.
Well, the moment of truth has arrived. We're all strapped in here, waiting for the winds to be right. We got a few people checking the winds above us, and we got some socks down below us, and just waiting for everything to be perfect so we can take a run at this, and it should be a good ride.
Third glider.
Okay, we're flying today with Brian and Bill. Okay, what we're experiencing now is just a little bit of rough air coming over the back side of the mountain. If you look to your right, see that cloud? That's causing this turbulence right now. But we're just going to fly down through this valley and hope to catch a thermal going up.
So we will clear these trees.
Yeah, we'll clear them. All right, it's a little chilly today. All right, here's a little bubble.
Definitely one of the most exciting things I've ever done. Well, we were able to catch a few thermals, fly around the valley a little bit, and we're going to be coming in for a landing here. It's moving pretty quick, and just coming right in, and not too bad. Nice and smooth. Better landing than I thought it would be.
Alright, how'd you enjoy your flight? It was very good. Okay, look in the camera and say, Tahoe Tandem Rule! Tahoe Tandem Rule!
I'm here with Billy Cuddy from Tahoe Tandem Hang Gliding, and we just got done jumping off of Slide Mountain, and just a spectacular feeling jumping off the mountain and taking flight. It's amazing. Billy did a wonderful job. I felt secure, safe the whole time. I just want to say thank you very much for a wonderful ride.
Well, it was a combined effort. You were a great student, great first-time flight. We had a wonderful takeoff, good flight, and a great landing. So I congratulate you. Welcome to hang gliding.
Well, thank you very much. And then if you have any questions or whatever, they have a classified stuff, basically all the Tahoe area hang gliding stuff. You can go to TahoeTandemHangGliding.com and check it out. He'll answer all your questions. And if you want to, paragliding, all that stuff, he can hook you up.
Today's modern hang glider is very safe, reliable, and they're real easy to control. After years of flying and developing gliders, we've come up with some of probably the best performing beginner gliders you can ask for. We're going to demonstrate how the glider is controlled. It's controlled by weight shift, and what we're going to have the student pilot, Brian, do is pull his body weight forward. That makes the glider go faster. If he pushes his body weight back, that'll make the glider fly a little bit slower. If he allows his body to come into a neutral position, the glider will fly at a precise trimmed airspeed, and you really don't have to do much of anything other than enjoy the flight. This is one of the instruments that we use for hang gliding. It's called the audio-visual variometer. It gives us our altitude at launch, where we're taking off from, as well as the altitude that we're going to land at, our given landing zone. It also gives us the amount of feet that we're rising vertically or descending. In the visual, we can look at it with the numbers, or it has an audio tone. I'm going to lower it to the valley floor, which is 5,100 feet, and as it goes up, it makes an audio tone, and then notice when it stopped going up, it quit. That little beeping noise is a great noise. That's what you want to hear when you're flying. In today's modern hang gliders, we have a lot of safety designed into the glider. This tube, for instance, that's right underneath this wing, it's set at a precise angle, so if the glider were to encounter a vertical position or a diving attitude, this will hold the trailing edge of the sail up, which will maintain a airfoil type shape. We also have this tip batten that goes out here that puts a small twist in the wing. which will, in case the glider goes to a minimum speed or a stalling speed, the inboard section of the wing will stall first. The stall will progress and work out toward the tip on both sides. This will keep the glider in a level, straight attitude position, which offers a much safer and more stable and controllable handling. One more safety feature that we have on a hang glider, the new modern hang gliders, is what we call a king post. The king post is a vertical aerodynamic piece of tube that rises from the top of the glider and has wires that support laterally the wings as well as fore and aft. In case the glider were to enter turbulence and for some reason end up upside down, that'll support the glider and it'll maintain its airfoil shape, and hopefully it'll flip back over and you can enjoy the rest of your flight.
Big glider.
And December 15th, we volunteered for a trash cleanup at Prison Hill, which is kind of over by the southwest corner of Carson City.
East side of the prison.
Off the end of Schneider. It's a really popular OHV area. Right, there's motorcycles and four-wheeling.
Oh, great tracks out there.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eric, a.k.a. Dr. Smash, I know he's on Reno 4x4 and Pirate.
Correct.
He's the one who really headed this thing up.
Boy, he did a good job, too.
Kudos to him.
Yes.
He organized this whole thing, which is a lot. I mean, he's got to get the dumpsters there. There was a City of Carson trailer there. He had
a porta potty.
Porta potties, food going on. And so us, along with several other people, there was probably a good 40 people out there and several vehicles.
Yep.
We went out and helped pick up some trash that was out there. So
Lots of trash.
Lots of trash.
Lots of trash.
Yeah. So we got some pictures that we can check out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Carl and just a bunch of us kind of gathering.
I think this is before the actual deal.
Mm-hmm. Once everybody gets to the right spot.
There we go.
There's my dad and Robert, huh?
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny, with Western Nevada, the wind blows the trash into the sagebrush, which makes it a little more challenging to retrieve.
Yeah. You know, this kind of just gives you the setting. Everybody volunteers their time, the gas in their vehicles.
Yes.
There's Glen, you brought your truck and your trailer. So, we go out there and people are willing to sacrifice
their time. And look how pretty it is out there, guys.
That is absolutely beautiful once we got up there.
And you can actually drive in these rocks. It's legal, but respect the
it
the
is
land.
An absolute OHV area.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a pretty cool view once we got up and we had worked our way back.
Yeah.
My dad and my sister and I stopped and looked, and there was a river flowing through there, and we actually saw deer.
There's some wildlife, that's right.
So he was a pretty good-sized buck. My dad was getting itchy.
Yeah, his trigger finger was moving. Oh, and that's me.
And Glen got stopped.
Yeah,
so
well, it's
unfortunately.
It's not my normal wheeler, so give me a break here, okay? I don't have drive wheels on that trailer, by the way.
We didn't even get the picture of my Jeep pulling your truck out.
Well, of course not.
But
I paid your sister not to take that picture.
But anyway, this is pretty cool. You can see everybody's just out and about.
And there were actually the Reno Gazette-Journal and Channel 4 was out there also. They had a little news clip on us that night and the next morning. There's pictures on RenoGazette-Journal.com.
Eric had got a hold of them, and it's really good to go out and just get coverage of something like this.
Yes, and it's a feel-good. It's gratifying going out there and picking up other people's trash.
But it feels like we're giving back. We're not just taking. We're trying to improve the condition of where people are getting in.
Yeah, and this is to keep our beautiful lands open to us.
And this was a 30-yard dumpster?
A 30-yard dumpster that was
pretty
close to full.
Filled out. Plus,
there you go. That's the picture right there that shows it all.
Apparently, there was even a vehicle that another group drug out.
Yes.
So, it's good to go out, and that was a gentleman who put on the barbecue.
Yeah, they donated all the
Oh.
meat, and then the money that was donated for the meat was donated to charity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
another
the
good
food
thing.
was good. Oh,
Yeah.
kudos to them. And there's Brian and Ray. We're going to have actual 10-minute video clip here in the next month or two.
Oh, good.
So it'll be
Oh.
good. This is there.
That's Dr. Smash there.
There he is. So
He has a shop here in Carson.
and it was just really good to go out and be able to volunteer, and
And there we go. We're back.
that was it.
around.
There.
Yeah.
We've come full circle, right? But it was really good. It was a big success, I think,
Yeah,
right?
extremely. And we're going to be doing another one here. In a
Yes.
few months, your Stoppers is going to be putting it on.
And eventually you can go to our website. You can go to our website now, but it will
Absolutely.
be posted on our calendar.
Yes.
And that's the SierraStompers.org. And as usual, it's going to take coordination. We got to get the dumpsters there. We got to work with Forest Service or BLM.
We originate out of Gardnerville, so that's where it's going to be. It's
We're going to
be
do
somewhere
something in
the
Douglas
south.
County.
Yeah.
So, we've been doing this cleanups for about 10 years, and it'll be good to host one.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the Pine Up Mountain Trails Association is having their meeting. It's the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at the Round Table Pizza.
That's Topsy Lane near Best Buy in south of Carson City.
So,
Yeah.
if you want to get involved, you can show up to those meetings.
Today we're going to be showing you how to install a air conditioner compressor in order to get compressed air and
On your vehicle.
yes, correct, engine
So,
driven.
We use this a lot because we're always out trail riding or four-wheeling, and we might be popping a tire off the rim out in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Or getting a puncture and using a
Or-
tire plug
yeah.
and need to put air back in the
So
tire.
this is a really cool thing if you're out and about on the trails or exploring in the desert, and you've had experiences where you needed some compressed air, whether you didn't have the tools to change the tire or whatever. I think it's like anything. Once you have it, you find a lot of uses for it.
That you could have used it previously. So it's very nice to have. It can get you out of a bind, that's for sure.
So-
And make a lot of friends too.
Yeah. Oh boy, can
Yeah,
ya.
yeah.
So we're going to start out talking about a belt-driven air compressor system.
Correct.
Right.
This here we have this is a York compressor. It's found on many vehicles.
For air conditioning,
For air conditioning purposes only. They weren't designed
to do what we're doing.
to do what we're doing. So we've slightly adapted them, and they work great. There's other variations from the York. There's a Sandin, there's AC Delco, and some others that I'm not familiar with.
And people usually want to use these because there are different variations of different CFM output.
Correct.
Of these.
Yes.
So people like these because they have an oil sump in the bottom, just like your car engine.
Yes.
Whereas the type I'm running, I have to have an oiler on it
Pre-oiler.
to put oil into the system so it won't seize.
That's for lubrication. The Freon typically in those systems is what keeps the system lubricated. Without the Freon, you need to put oil in it to keep it going.
So, like Glenn said, this was out of a junkyard. I think somebody actually gave this to me. And the way it works is on the air conditioning, there's a high side and a low side, a suction side and an output side.
Yes, let me back up a little bit here, Jake. Inside this chamber right
Okay,
here,
there you go.
there's actually two pistons, and they go up and down just like in your combustion engine. And then below here, there's a crankcase. So you got these pistons going up and down, and they compress the air. And where does the air? The air comes in
Yep.
the inlet, and then it goes out on the discharge side.
Yep. And the way it's operated is there's a little wire here. This is actually an electric
Clutch.
clutch. Whereas unless there's power going to this pulley just freewheels. And then once you supply power, which we'll get into how supply power, there's
A clutch.
the clutch that locks up. And once it locks up, it will start spinning the crankshaft, making the pistons go up and down.
And they do their job and compress the air.
Create compressed air. So where do we go after this?
Well, after this, our first step is going to be to an oil separator, filter, coalescing filter. It removes what oil is put through the
moisture,
discharge.
or air,
Or
moisture
moisture.
from the air.
Yeah, you don't want any moisture in there, water that is. And the least amount of oil that you can. through the line. So after the filter, what's next, Jake?
On my setup, and I think pretty typical, is I go to a check valve.
Yes.
Because in these systems, you actually have a storage tank like you would in a compressor in your garage.
Correct.
And the reason you put these in is that so when your air tank is fully charged, that compressed air isn't trying to come out backwards through this.
To leak out, and then your compressor will kick on again more often than needs to be.
Yeah, and it will start against, say, 120 pounds of pressure, versus if the check valve is there, it doesn't have pressure against it when it
Correct.
starts.
Exactly.
So, and after this, there's a couple different options you can go, but I have mine going to a pressure switch.
Correct. Mine too.
We don't have one here with us, but we have pictures that we can show people.
Yeah.
And
For instance, right there, that's your setup, Jake, if
Yes.
I remember correctly.
and I'm using an AC Delco air compressor. You can see it's longer and skinnier, and it's not so tall.
It's more cylindrical.
I was worried about my hood not closing.
That there is a York compressor, and that's on my buddy's Toyota.
That is on the Toyota 4-cylinder, so mine was on a V8. This is on a Toyota.
And
And that
That's the underside of the same vehicle. That's looking, the compressor's on the left and the actual crank of the motor is on the right, and that's the belt that drives it.
and you can make these so they run off a serpentine or a V-belt, right?
Correct.
And here's yours. It's actually pretty cool.
You know, it's pretty dirty too, but it's a York compressor that's right there in the front, and then the hoses go around. This is looking from the front of the vehicle. And again, I have a manifold on the left side and some more lines running my ARB also.
So, and you're just pointing out different components. Now there's mine. I use my rear bumper for an air tank. And that is how I have a supply for compressed air set up on the back of my vehicle.
Yes.
And there's the other side of my bumper where the air comes in at.
Okay.
So,
So your bumper is hollow and it holds air. Okay.
and here's Carl's.
Oh yeah, he's got a dual tank from a compressor, like an electric compressor.
Yeah,
He took
like
the tanks off.
So I'm just
Contractor.
showing different ideas of how you can do this stuff. And there's yours,
That's
right?
mine. It's a 2.5 gallon. Actually, it's made by a company that does this compressed air thing. It's just a tank. It's nothing special.
So, you can bolt them under the body or the bumpers. And here's,
That's the inside of my cruiser there, and the gauge on the left is my actual high pressure
Okay.
gauge. It shows me the whole system. This here is on Carl's truck, and that's his.
there's the pressure switch.
Yes.
And he has the outlet with
A gauge
the
on
gauge
top.
there.
And the pressure switch is typically turn the clutch on, the compressor on
Yep.
at 90 and off at
Yeah,
130.
and there's mine. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
see there's all kinds of different setups. You can mount them pretty much anywhere.
This is specific
want.
for my rig here. I run an ARB, and that's a fully pneumatic switch, and next to it is a gauge to monitor and make sure that the pressure is no more than
So-
90 to 100 pounds.
This was off. You can get these diagrams off the internet, and that gives you all the components and kind of how it's laid out.
Complete
right?
layout. It's very helpful.
And if you don't want to do the belt driven, there's other options, right?
This is what I don't know, I call it canned air. It's compressed air. I think it's actually CO2. And there's
There's an electric one.
I believe that's a truck air. There's many other different varieties and,
Yeah.
and brand names of that. So there's many options out there. This is, in my opinion, most convenient and practical if your motor is reliable.
Because these put out a lot more. Well, like the power tanks, for an example, they have compressed CO2, or I think people use nitrogen,
Correct.
to where it's not a replenishable source.
It will run out at some point.
I think you can air like 30 tires up from like 10 to 25 pounds or something. So
Pretty
it's
typical.
really pretty good, and people
Yeah.
run their air actuated lockers off of them.
And you can run air tools on those canned air
Yeah.
systems, where just like this is you can run your air tools off it, and air tools come in really handy out there, don't they, Jay?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've used pneumatic die grinders
Yeah.
to cut steel if we have to. I mean, we're getting pretty out there. We hammer our vehicles, but
Yeah.
and then you can go with the electric air compressors,
Yeah.
which it's not like those little cheesy ones that plug into the cigarette lighter. I mean,
Oh, you can still get those.
they work,
Don't.
right? But one time I waited for like 40 minutes for it to air up my 40-inch tire.
All your friends left you again, didn't they? Or you don't have. Okay, never mind.
No, we were camping and it went low, but
Yeah. Now
so they work, but
a few other things that are fairly important, not necessary, is a gauge. This one has really clean glass. Actually, there's no glass in this one, but that's why it's here and not on a rig. But an air gauge is nice to have. And at the end of the line on your tank, typically, you're going to have, you need to have a safety relief valve that blows at, so let's say 150 pounds per square inch. Your compressor will typically shut off. The switch will shut it off at about 130. Typical. Okay. But you don't want that thing failing.
But if the pressure switch could actually lock in the on position, and I think I've heard these will put out like up to 1,400 pounds per square inch.
That's a bomb.
That's a bomb, right?
Most tanks are rated to about 300 pounds per square inch.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could go higher, but not 1,200, and that could kill.
You know, all we're doing is showing, you know, stuff you may need. You just, if you get on the internet and research, there's people out there who make a complete kit.
Absolutely. You can buy bolt-ons
Yeah.
for most vehicles. But if you want to do it on your own and make parts, you can save a lot of money and feel really good about doing it yourself.
And we're recycling old compressors, huh?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Giving new life to old parts. Yes. So, you know, this is something for people to think about, and depending on your skill level, you can get a bolt-on kit or do it yourself.
Or write a check and have someone do it for you.
Hope it was interesting.
Yes. First, we want to thank all of our supporters again, the Pine Nut Mountain Trails Association and the Brewery Arts Center for all the volunteers that put this on. Without them, the show would not go on.
Hopefully you enjoyed the compressed air thing. That's something a lot of people just don't realize that you could really do. And you know, we're not going to be able to show you exactly how to do it. We just wanted to show you, say, hey, it is available. These might be some of the parts you need, and you know, if you're interested, you can take it from there.
Put in your favorite search engine, Onboard Air, and you're going to come up with everything you need.
Yeah. You know, we suggest you do your homework, right? Read 4x4 forums if you're into that. Just search the internet and figure out if it's something you really want to take your time and do. You know,
it's gratifying at the end. A lot of work. So don't forget to check out our website at nv-trails.org.
You can get lots of information there about different stuff we're talking about, and you can also watch the shows online whenever you want.
Whenever.
You can go back and check out all the different episodes, and you can do that at nvtrails.bactv.org.
You can email us your club information or events taking place that, you know.
Anything you want to get out there.
Yeah, get the news out, you know. So don't forget to send in club information and digital photos of you enjoying the Nevada trails in a safe and responsible way at tv@nv-trails.org.
Yes. So, you know, we're always looking for things that people are doing, and you email us if you want to come on the show, you know. So
please, yes.
We appreciate you guys watching, and we hope you enjoyed the show. So this is Nevada Trails.